welcome to the Finding What Drives You podcast. Man, I got a good special guest, good friend of mine. He's a great father, a brother. I know your brothers. Entrepreneur, estate broker, one of the top realtors in town. I'm not going to list what number.
Oh, man, come on, dude.
Just a super positive, driven individual. My boy, Benny Villarreal. Welcome, dude.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Mike. Thank you.
Yes, man. So we met at the Pro Shop Golf I tried to calculate it 14 years ago. And you walked in, man, and you just had this demeanor to you that you were like a free spirit and like but you were a boss too. You tell that you didn't have a boss.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to touch on that, man. You sold me 2 houses to my family. You pretty much did the sale and the buy of the new one, and you did a great job. And we're going to deal into your real estate business and how that's going. And, I got the pleasure, like I said, working with your brothers. So, we'll start off with just welcome yourself and give yourself an introduction. How would you start your show off with?
Well, appreciate it. Thank you so much, Mike. I thank you for inviting me over. It's been an honor for me to come out here and speak. I see your podcast going and I see all your guests, and before you even invited me, I was kind of like, man, I don't know. Am I even on that level to sit down and talk to, you know what I mean? But it's an honor, bro. Thank you so much, man. You've always been like a super good friend of mine since I met you. And just want to say thank you.
Dude, it's an honor to have you on, man. So we play a lot of golf together too. Not as much as we want, of course. We're busy with our lives. But we always just have really good conversations. And I feel like we both get something out of our conversations when we meet each other. Mm-hmm. I'll dive more into that because one thing that kind of got me is the conversation we had is your morning routine. It's something that when you start something new and you're doing it, and a lot of people, you're like, don't want to tell people because it's private, but it's working for you and you want to share that. Well, one thing I do is I wake up in the morning and I say, thank you, God. Thank you, universe.
Yeah.
I'm just so grateful. And then I go about my day.
Definitely.
But morning routine is everything. And what did you tell me about your morning routine? And then can you walk through your morning routine and what's the impact it makes on your day?
Man, Mike, we've had so many conversations. I don't remember, but as far as like me, I wake up, definitely look at, I have a sticker like on my mirror when I get up in the morning, and it's kind of like it looks like a cross, right?
Right.
And on that cross, it's got God, family, work, and health. You know what I mean? And so I post it like on my mirror when I'm getting ready, taking a shower, brushing my teeth, mouthwash. I'm looking at it, when I go in my car where like my gauges are at, and I'm looking at how fast I'm going or my, fuel tank and stuff. I got a sticker right there, and on my phone, it's on there. So I just feel like, I think it's important when you wake up in the morning, every day when you get up in the morning, what's your day? How are you going to set your day up? You know what I mean?
Right.
Of course, we're both very successful and we can go any way we want. And some days we do, you know what I mean?
Right.
But, when it's time to work, like I get up and I look at my 4 core values of life, and that's where it starts, God, family, work, and health. You know what I mean? And that's the way I try to start my day off, with those 4 core values. And, my biggest thing on that, if I email you and you're one of my clients and I've emailed you before, on the bottom, it says balance equals happiness.
I love it.
Right. And that's been my motto for years. And, that cross is a reflection of my balance, the God, family, work, and health.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like if you can stay balanced, it's, you'll be happy. You know what I mean? I feel like it'll help you and happy. It'll just help your life, bro. Like I feel like you'll stay balanced, and I believe that's happiness, man.
Dude, I agree. Well, you're a very happy guy, a very positive guy. This show is an hour of positive news only network, baby. And I cut off cable 6 years ago. I just got tired of just politics, and I've said this before. We can agree 100% on the same political views, and we'll both leave the conversation pissed off. So why'd you even talk about it? And I'm trying to. One thing that stuck with me too is instead of chasing what you want, kind of eliminate what you don't want, and it kind of narrows it down. So I've kind of balanced my life out with my 5 pillars. So yours is a cross, mine's maybe a stick figure. There's 5 points.
It's all right, man. That's what drives you.
Mine would be like a guy stick figure, but it's, it's mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, And I added financial in there because if my money's not right, I'll still be happy. You know, I'll still be happy. But in order to progress and keep moving, if I'm not growing, I'm dying. So I added that little leg to my stick figure there, to my cross. Or maybe it's the happy face.
You got to stay green is the saying. If you're green, you're growing.
Right. And, you know, I do put, you know, God first, and I put financials last, but it's just something that I've added to my pillars, my 5 pillars that hold me up and keep me moving forward and on the right path on life. Feeding my eyeballs and ears with positivity. But, you know, you're right. You wake up in the morning and you have God, work, family, health. So that is what your vision says to focus on. Right. And those are great pillars to hold you up and keep you on your right path. Right. So definitely. I think it's very, very well done. You told me also, too, that you wake up, you might have forgot, but you said you get on your knees and you pray. And I was like, man, I mean, what's more powerful than that? And I did it a couple of times, you know. Sometimes I'm like, oh gosh, I'm late. Thank you, God. Thank you, universe. I'm out of here. But you know, I'll never forget what that conversation we've had, along with many others we'll get into.
Right. Yeah, no, definitely. I'll get on my knees right there by the bed and pray. In my closet, I got, you know, a nice little rosary there in my closet when I'm getting ready. It's always hanging before I go on vacation, before I, you know, go to work, before I walk out that door. Usually I'm always just, you know, saying a good little prayer, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I just think it's important. I just think it's so important, you know, just to be appreciative and just for the opportunity every day that we have, because as we've seen in these last several years, life's precious, you know, it's like we're here one day and we're gone the next, and you never know. So you just got to be grateful. You got to be grateful for the opportunity that you have. You know?
Yeah, it's crazy. I listen to a lot of, I listen to like 5 people. I have some mentors that feed me with something I like to listen to and something that helps me out the day. And, you know, they're very successful as well. I kind of only listen to people that, you know, are kind of where I want to be. And then, I take a little bit. It's like I used to say with golf lessons. I think everyone should get golf lessons from 5 people, even though when I was giving golf lessons, I didn't want nobody to go anywhere else. But, you know, I think it's best to have a strong filter, but take lessons from your 5 best golf instructors and not try to emulate their swings, but just take the best qualities from each one and implement it to your own. Exactly. It's the same with life.
Definitely. And it's just like any industry that you're in, you know, whether you're in podcasts, you're in real estate, you know, if you're working for a good Fortune 500 company, like, you know, I was always told as a kid, my mom always told me, it's like, wherever you're working, look up at your boss, look up at management. And if you see the way they live and you like, you know, the way they live and all the qualities, and this is something that you want to do, then pursue it. You know what I mean? But if not, then change it.
Cut the cord.
Change it.
Yeah.
You know, we're not trees. We can change,
right?
You know? So
I like that,
you know, and that's just like always been my philosophy. I got into real estate. I've looked, you know, up to a lot of people, but then you start realizing, hey, how are they as a person, as a family man, you know, as a businessman? I mean, all the other good qualities that are important in life. And that's how you kind of say, well, I like this and I like this person. These are going to be my influencers in the industry, you know?
Yeah, exactly, man. A lot of people are sometimes cursed or gifted with having their dad as a business owner, successful one, and then they have that. But sometimes they feel like I've heard they're kind of in prison because they don't get to experience all these different opportunities that we have. Right. So I, you know, growing up, you know, not with the most money, but finding my own way. I always kind of say trying on different shoes till one fits, you know, the Cinderella deal. But I've had the pleasure and opportunity to do that and enjoyed the process. Right. But I was in the golf industry for a long time, and I thought I wanted to be a golf PGA pro, you know, ahead of a golf course. And I actually did get the job opportunity at Rio Bravo, and it was they offered me a whole $30,000 a year, woohoo, with a chance to make 55 with golf lessons. And I was just kind of bummed out with that. And after that I started studying all the golf pros in town, and I noticed that a lot of them weren't very happy. And I kind of just try to assess the situation. Is that what I want to put myself into? Right. Even though I wanted my boys to grow up, you know, at Rio Bravo, running around, you know, shooting course records. I think that's a big vision.
And not to say they're not happy, bro. Like, hey, you know what?
There's some that are happy. Joe Haggerty, Alan Sorensen, there's Chad Sorensen. There's some good ones, but overall, I've seen that they weren't very happy and they wanted to kind of do something different.
Yeah. My biggest thing, I think, if you're just working within your element, you know what I mean? A lot of us are born with gifts. you know, and it's different for others. Some people are just really good, like, you know, social, they can get along well with anybody. Some of them are just like super hard workers, and they got great work ethic.
Right.
You know, others are just, they are really good at taking orders and going about their business and very organized. And if that's your gift and it doesn't feel like you're working, I feel like you're working in your element, and that's all that matters, bro. You know what I mean? I knew that I didn't know I was supposed to be in real estate, but I knew I needed to be in the people business.
Yes.
Because relationship building just came so naturally to me. You know what I mean? And I don't ever feel like I'm working. You know, like people say, "Oh my God, Benny, you sell real estate," and that is just like I want to sell real estate too. But I don't even feel like I'm selling. I don't feel like I'm working. I really, really don't. And that's the dead honest truth.
Right.
I'm just being Benny, and then people just want to do business with me.
You're being my realtor, Benny.
That's my slogan, man. That's my slogan.
I know, man. That's such a good name, because my initials are MY, and I always thought like my something, you know, my realtor. You know, I love the name. I think it's great. And how did you get into real estate? How'd you get into it? What'd you do before real estate, actually, more importantly, and how'd you find that gig?
Well, so I started working in the oil fields with my dad. You know, my dad retired 40 years in the oil field industry, working for Schlumberger. Growing up as a kid, I wanted to be like my dad. I wanted to be the hard worker, go out there, make good, hard earning income. And I wanted to be like him. So out of high school, I started working at the bolt plant there, and, you know, helping them blend cement, loading acid in these docks, and just going through the whole oil field process. I got my Class A license. You know, I wanted to go out there to the rigs and start working and make good money. And I started realizing, like, man, I'm out here working, and I'm the young little guy here, and I'm working with older men. They got 5 kids. They've been in different marriages. And they're just like, "What are you doing out here? You're too young." And I'm just like, well, I'm out here. I want to make money. You know, I want to be like my dad.
Right.
He's giving me a good life. And they're like, "I'm only out here working out here in the oil field, swinging this 10-pound sledgehammer in the heat because I have to."
Right. Exactly.
Like, "You're young." And, you know, and I credit a lot of those guys that were in my ear. Like, "You're young. You still have a choice. You can go out there and make a better living."
And they're 100% right.
Yeah. And it made me think, it made me think big time. And that's when I started thinking, hey, I need to work a little bit more smarter than harder, you know?
Right. And so how'd you find that? Who told you that? Did you hear it somewhere?
No, I just
a bumper sticker.
Yeah,
or what?
I don't know, dude. No, I just, I can't recall exactly what pinpointed it, but I just started thinking these guys are right. I think I need to work a little bit more smart and harder. And so I felt like I started exercising a little bit more other things, and I got into the cell phone industry, started selling cell phones.
That's right. Actually, that's how we met. That? That's right. That's right.
And then I started selling cell phones for a little bit, and I used to be Pac Bell, and then they, got bought out by Singular, and I started excelling, just selling. And I didn't speak Spanish. My mom and dad didn't raise me speaking Spanish, but I started realizing, like, you know what? If I spoke Spanish, I could probably make a little bit more commission. So at 19 years old, I started teaching myself.
That's awesome.
And I started talking to my mom and my dad, "Hey, is this how you say this? Is this how you say that?" And they were like, "Yes." And I kept practicing and practicing. Next thing you know, I got out of the industry. One of my good buddies, Ali Dane, he recruited me in to go selling cars. So I started selling cars, did that for a while, about 2 years. Didn't really like it. It just wasn't my cup of tea.
Right.
You
weren't your element.
Yeah. And I'm not going to talk about cars,
Right. No.
But hey, you know what I mean? It just wasn't my element, And a good friend of mine that I met in the car business got me into More Furniture. Started working at More Furniture.
That's where I shop right now.
Yeah.
Too. No interest till 2090.
Yeah. We used to make a joke like 2020, no interest till 2020.
I was like 2090. I was like, fine, sign me up.
But so started working there. Worked there for 3 years. I did very, very well. And one day, some gentleman came in. He was one of my main clients, and he says, "You ever thought about selling real estate?" And this was in 2004. And I says,
No, I love couches.
I thought about it. Yeah. I'm tired of working 12-hour shifts, 5 days a week, always working weekends. I only had like 3 full weekends off a year.
Right.
And so I'm like, yeah, I definitely thought about it. He goes, I want you to come work for me. You've been my number one sales rep. I'm going to pay for all your schooling, your books and everything. Come to my office, pick them up. You pass the test, you come work for me. And I'm like,
wow.
All right, cool.
Dude, that's a good deal.
It was just a blessing in the sky, man, And so what did I do? The next weekend, he told me to come pick him up. I went over there, picked him up, passed my test. 2 weeks later, I'm like, all right, I'm a licensed realtor. He says, all right, when are you starting? And I'm like, well, what are we talking here on pay? Hey, I'm making a really good income, for a 24-year-old with no kids.
Right.
And he's just like, no pay. Like you get what you put into this, You're not guaranteed anything. It's either sink or swim.
Right.
And so at that point, I was just, I just bought a house. My first house, had it built from the ground up. I was like 20.
Dude, if you disclose, what were you making it more furniture? What's a lot?
You want to know?
Yeah. Let's.
24-year-old.
What
no
made
kids.
you leave to go do real estate?
I was top 10. Yeah. So I wasn't even I wasn't top 5. I was probably
like
7 or 8.
Ballpark. What was it?
95,000 a year.
That's really good. 24 years old?
24 years old, bro.
Okay, you're doing very well at 24 years old.
Like.
Yeah, I was making $11 an hour at 24. I just got a raise.
You know what? But the thing is about More Furniture is they had a no rehire policy, right? And so that's what scared me.
There's always scared. It's always some fear in making a change. Yeah.
But then it comes down to who I am as a person. It's like, hey, you know what? You're young, no kids, not married. You have nothing to lose. And even if I'm going to say learn, because even if you fail, but failure is not part of my, vocabulary. It's either you learn. You either winning or you're learning. That's it. You're never failing. So even if you learn, you're still young enough to find another industry and go out there and make it happen. And so I said, hey, you know what? I saved enough money. I'm always been a big saver. Saved enough money to have 1 year payments, saved in my bank account. If I didn't sell a house in 1 year, then I had enough. And then, hey, if I didn't make it, then I need to find another industry.
So maybe your cross needs another one. Maybe you got a stick figure too. Because financial is important, right?
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's never number one. I'm not saying that at all, but it is a part of that pillar that keeps you up and moving forward and on the right path to conquering your goals and being the best version of you.
Heck yeah, brother. So yeah, that's what I did. You know what I mean? And I never looked back. I got into real estate, never looked back. I absolutely love it. I felt like I was in my element and just,
So it was just easy peasy right off the gate?
No, of course not.
No way. Nothing is, right?
First thing I did, I just felt like, all right, everywhere I go, where I shop, where I buy food, whoever my friends are, what I like to do. I was a big softball player and, wherever I went, I needed to pass my card out and let everybody know what I did over and over and over. And I stuck with my sphere of influences, my circle, and I just kept tapping at it.
Yeah.
And just saying, hey, I sell real estate. I sell real estate. I sell real estate. And little by little, I just started developing a little small, database of clients, But hey, this is 2004. Everybody knows real estate market in 2004 was nice.
Right.
We were all eating well.
Oh, yeah.
And so here I am thinking like, oh, yeah, this is great.
There was no dieting going on in 2004.
Like, dude, what was I thinking? How come I didn't get into real estate in like 2001?
I know, this is easy. You get a home. You get a home. You get a home.
It's like everybody wants to buy a house. This is just great,
Love it.
But yeah. And so, that's when that was my story pretty much and how I got into the industry.
Man, so those are high market times, right?
Yeah.
And so what was your first sale?
Man, you're going to make me think.
Okay, what was your biggest sale in that period? I mean, I'm sure there was a memorable one that you're like, okay, this is it forever. Or was it that first one, that first sale?
This is 15 years ago, man. It's a long time ago.
No,
I can't, honestly, you know what? All of them were special to me. I can't put one over the other, whether it is, $100,000 or, 800,000, 900,000. I don't think I sold anything that high at that time.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? And all my clients are so important to me, and I don't care, you know, what purchase price you're at. They were all special to me, you know, and I still try to, you know, hold a good conversation or relationship with them all. And,
Right.
you know, but, you know, some of them mom moved away and, you know, different, you know, life takes you different ways. So, but yeah, I mean, they're all special to me. I can't put one over the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know you were, I know that you mean that from the bottom of your heart, because you've done both of our sales and you were with us from the beginning, and you're very patient. I mean, we might have looked at 40 homes like each time. And then we found that one, you're like, you just knew like, wow, okay, this is going to be it. I'll do my job now. It's time for me to, you guys just hold on, and we'll communicate every single hour until we get this thing done. And I'll make sure we get it done for you. So I really appreciate you going the extra mile for us.
It's all about service. You know what I mean? And I don't care what you do, whether, you know, you are working for a restaurant, if you have your own business, you know, I don't care what industry you're in, but if you're in, you know, in the industry of helping people, you just can never forget the core value. And that's what you signed up for, in helping people.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's, I've always stick to that motto. I'm never going to change. And then at the end of the day, I signed up to help people, and I'm never going to forget that, you know?
Right. I believe that people are like that. People are really trying to give back and really help other people. It's because it's not about the money. I really, truly believe people that are genuine from their heart want to really help people reach their goals or help them succeed or get them their house, whatever it may be, shoot 65, whatever it is. It's because it's not about the money.
No.
I remember I used to charge, you know, $20 for a half hour or whatever. Most of the charges 40. I'd be out there for 2 hours with them because
you loved it.
It wasn't about the money. I loved it.
Exactly.
These people got better, and I felt it was more important that they reached their goals than whatever money I was getting paid. And I know that you're about that too. So tell me, like, tell me more about that. What would you have to say?
You know what? Honestly, Mike, that's it. That's the hook, line, and sinker right there. You know what I mean? I think, and let me tell you something a little bit about like the real estate industry now. I don't advertise, you know what I mean? Like how I help my clients and, you know, what I charge, but I know that I will never lose a client over a lack of, you know, of commission. You know what I mean? Like I'll never lose it. And so there's a lot of people out there that are just like, oh, I don't want to hire a realtor because they charge like this and, you know, this. You know what? Pay me the smallest. I'll take the least amount of commission. And there's a lot of realtors out there like, no, well, you know what? I'm worth 5% commission, 6% commission. This is what I do. You know what? Me, these are other people's livelihoods. They worked hard for that.
Right.
You know, and again, going back to the core values, like helping people, I'll charge you the smallest. I just want to help you to show you that, hey, there is good people out there, you know, that are willing to help you, walk you through the process step by step, be genuine about it. You know what I mean? And just make you believers that, hey, not everybody's out there just trying to get you, you know? And so I just feel like you just can't forget where you come from and the whole reason why you signed up to do what you do.
Exactly.
You know? And it's like, you know, you might, man, just like I was telling you earlier, this is totally like your element, man. And, you know, since the first day I met you, you've always been, you know, a happy-go-lucky guy. Nothing ever gets you down. And I'm sure there's days where you get mad, bro, but you just don't show it to anybody. And you could be stressing and you never show it. And it comes naturally to you.
Right.
You don't hide it on purpose, or you don't try to be somebody you're not. You're just Mike, and then everybody loves you, man. So everything that you're doing, from, like I told you, like from from the golf shop to American Safety to, you know, the tank company, Thompson Tank, right?
Yeah.
And then to now doing this powerhouse, this podcast, like, man, this is all you, Mike. Well, and this is the beginning, honestly. It really, really is. And I hope you see that.
I do. I always feel like it's the beginning. Whatever I do, I could reach the top of whatever company. I was like, this is just the beginning, you know? And I really do appreciate you saying that, man. It means a lot to me. But I am the way I am because I've been through something that fucked me up a couple of times. I was dealt a bad deck of cards and I had some self-inflicted wounds, you know? I was kind of happy through that process too.
Yeah.
But I've been through a lot. And I've had some
That's
things
good.
happen to
That's
me that
good.
where I really am appreciative for every day, and I choose happy, and I choose every day. And I've programmed myself that this is the way I live my life. I really do enjoy meeting new people. I love people.
Mm-hmm.
I love helping people reach their goals, and I just love to make people smile. And I like to be contagious with my happiness.
Definitely.
And I really do believe that if someone else is trying to make me unhappy, it's really their problem. I've chose this way. They're just projecting what they believe in, how they program themselves.
Yeah.
So,
that's why I say, man, hey, if somebody ever has a problem with Mike, you have a problem with yourself. You know what I mean? Like, dude, everybody loves Mike. You know, everybody loves
you
Mike.
too, Benny. You too, brother. Well, speaking of that, you know, everyone's had something that's fucked them up in their life, man. What was yours? I mean, everyone has had some adversity they've hit that's kind of crushed them and made them mold to who they are today. What was it for you?
Man, well, I think it'd be more just about real estate and, you know, what I've been through and, you know, real
Probably
estate. And so I
2008
talked about it, you know, how I got into real estate and, you know, everything that led up to it. But hey, everybody knows 2007, 2008 when that crash came, you know, and that humbled me. And that's where I pretty much just really, you know, figured out like, you know, what are the most important things about life? You know, I had quite a bit of, you know, savings. I was living a good life. I was 26 years old and I was going to Vegas. I was living it up. No kids, man. I had a great time. I'm not regretting any of it, you know,
Right.
but I was humbled. Everything got taken away from me. I had investments, you know, everything got taken away from me. And at that point,
When you were living the high life too, huh?
I was living the high life. I felt like I was unstoppable, you know, and that was probably the most adversity that I ever faced. But it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
It should be.
Like, man,
Everyone needs a taste of that humble pie.
it's different though. For some people take it like, oh, you know what? Like they're married and they've been married for so many years and then they get divorced. It's like, oh my God, my wife left me and just ruined my life. Some people they take it personal and they're just like, it's all about mindset, right?
Right.
And they're just like, it'll ruin some people's lives. Just one relationship,
Right.
you know, marriage or certain things that, you know, adversity that happens in life. It'll people sink and swim.
Yes.
And for me, it just drived me, but it made me more of like, all right, you're here, you know, you feel like you're rock bottom, right? It's like, all right, this is, like I said, failing is never part of my it's not a definition in my book.
Well, that might have been the moment that created that.
Yeah.
Instilled that and programmed yourself into that thinking that way, right?
Definitely. And so since then, I figured out what was the most important thing in life. It was all about family. You know what I mean? It was all about spending time with your loved ones, being frugal, you know, just, you know, and appreciating everything and every opportunity that you have because, man, you know, it was, like I said, it was a tough roller coaster for me. And you felt like you're just a rock on the sand, dude, like just, you know, but, I don't know. It was definitely a good experience that, you know, and ever since then, I always told myself when this will never, ever happen to me again. I'll never put myself in the situation, you know, to where this will ever happen again.
That's when you started saving money, creating that 1 year. I mean, how'd you come up with that 1 year worth of savings? Or
well, now it's like
happened that way, or what?
we're pushing 3 years.
There
now.
you go, that a baby.
Yeah,
That a baby.
residuals.
Yeah.
Well, just saving. You know what I mean? Because hey, at the end of the day, what happened is I made a lot of money when I was younger, and I just felt like, hey, you know what? I can buy this, I can buy that. And next, you had so much. Your overhead was so high.
Right.
So when the market shift, it's like, dude, well, can't afford that. Got to get rid of this, got rid of that. You know what I mean? And so you just really started cleaning house.
Yeah, sustainability is everything in business, man. And you know, I always say this too. You go to someone's a nursing home, you know, where people are on their last chapter of their life, and you talk to them. It's not about money; it's about the relationships that they have in their life. So that's always got to be number one. And it's God and then relationships, of course, right? Their money and stuff they don't even talk about it. They don't care about that,
Right?
About the toys or anything like that. So it is important to always focus on that, be appreciative for your relationships, people around you, and make them the right people as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Definitely.
So who's your mentors? Everyone has mentors. Who would you say yours are?
Well, it's more like what you said, right? So whenever you're whatever industry you're in, like if you're golfing, you're like, all right, I like these 5 different golf swings, right?
Yeah.
And you just like say, okay, well, I like this about Fred Couples, and I like this, about this golfer, Tiger Woods, and Morikawa, and so you create your own. And so, hey, is there people that I look up in the industry? Definitely, there is, and they're not just one person.
Right. There's probably 5 or so or more.
There's at least 5.
Right.
Yeah. And so if you want me to name them, I can name them. So if you guys don't know Carlos Sanchez, he's like number 1, he's number 1 to me. He's just a good family man. He's a great businessman. He is a big believer in God. He is a person that's going to tell you like it is. Whether he loves you or he doesn't, he's going to tell you like it is.
And authentic, he's real.
Those people that you have relationships with, that you look up to, and that are good friends of yours, and they can tell you like, hey, I know, Benny, you want to hear this, but I'm going to tell you what you really need to hear.
That's a good friend.
Man, that is a great friend. Those are the only relationships that you really need in your life.
How do you improve if no one tells you?
Honestly, I don't need people that are going to say, oh, you're right, Benny. Everything you said was right. Yeah. No, dude, I know I'm not right.
You'd be an asshole, probably.
Yeah, dude. Dude, make me better, man. Don't tell me. So, Carlos he's like number 1 to me. And another guy is Victor Vasquez. He's, somebody that I hang my license with. I really love Victor. He's genuine. He's always there to help you. He's very smart. He's a good businessman, He's a great father, definitely a great father. He's really dedicated to his company, to his agents.
Right. And
you can go to him whether, you're talking about life in general, real estate or whatever. He's just going to give you a really good, genuine answer. You know what I mean? He's just a big-hearted guy. I love him. He's like a brother to me. And he was the one that I was like, when I first got licensed and I wasn't licensed, he was the one that I was working with.
Wow. Okay. Right on.
So I got into real estate.
To home. He's here.
Yeah. So he's a really, really good buddy of mine. He's a brother, family, he's awesome. So he's somebody else that I definitely look up to.
Right on.
There's a lot more people in the industry that I know.
How do you, I was going to ask before you said you know them, but how do you plug into these guys? Do you know them? Like, are they here? Or do you see them on a regular basis? Do you talk to them? Is there podcasts or books you listen to,
Well, just from real estate, you know what I mean? I've been doing it long enough and I've developed these relationships with these guys. And so, they've been in the industry a long time. We've done deals together or work with each other and play golf with each other, and getting to know them, and so, and I know a lot more of the people and there's more. And I'm sorry if I didn't say, who you were, but I mean, those are some big guys that definitely, speak out to me. Another person that I have a lot of respect for and that I love is Freddie Perez. Dude,
I honestly was thinking about him. Yeah. Because I do want him on my podcast. I just had to have you first because you're my boy.
Freddie, man.
And then Freddie, I just, we run into each other. I always kind of saw him from a distance and then you guys playing golf and wanted to say what's up to him. And we have a few times and exchanged numbers, and I just think that he has a really cool story as well. And I'll have you on here, Freddie, because you're a good
Freddie
dude.
Belongs here. He belongs on everybody's podcast. And especially if you want motivational, you want somebody who's determined, somebody that just has the vision, that doesn't take no for an answer, that's going to go out there and accomplish anything that he puts his mind to. Freddie's like the best. Like Freddie is the man. You know what I mean? He reads all the books.
I know.
Dude, I love Freddie. I love you, Freddie. My boy, man. I have a lot of respect for him. We have good times together too.
Absolutely.
So even though, he's driven and he has all these great qualities about him, dude, when it's time to have fun and play golf.
Yeah.
Dude, it's fun.
Dude. Well, if you're driven, you're on this show, Finding What Drives You podcast. We already know what drives him. I want to find out too more about it. But yeah, I can tell he's a great father, just seems like he's fun, dude, and very motivational. I know he has a performance realtors, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know how many people he has working underneath him, but looks like he's done a tremendous job there. And,
before he opened up that brokerage, Mike, we talked, and he told me, "Hey, Benny, I'm going to do this. This is going to be my brokerage. I'm going to have these agents. I'm going to have property management. I'm going to have my own escrow company. He started telling me everything he was going to do. And I mean, he only had like, he didn't even have his brokerage yet.
That's, I'm a big believer, man. Remarkable 2 Notepad sponsored. I'm gonna get paid off this one day, but I mean, you should see, I write down notes every day. I'm writing down my goals, and I'm writing down obtainable ones and bigger ones, the unreachable ones. And I'm always writing notes. I'm a very good listener, even though I talk a lot. I'm probably a better listener than I talk.
Yeah,
and I could tell that a lot of successful people write stuff down.
Right.
What about you?
Definitely. I was just talking about, this to my parents yesterday. I went and showed property at Pismo. I have some clients out there I've been showing, and
I want to write that down. I want to manifest that too.
Pismo, Morro Bay, dude. I sell all through there, the Pomo, Lompoc. But yeah, I still got family Ventura. But dude, I was talking to my parents, and I'm just like, all right, I got my exit strategy. I know basically how the next 10 years are going to go for me. I have it all written down.
Mm-hmm.
I know I have it all written out, dude. Like I know exactly like what's my exit strategy throughout selling real estate. And of course I don't want to be sitting here selling homes and showing homes. I mean, I do, but it's not going to be forever.
Right.
As we get older, our energy starts to decrease, and we got to let the youth come up and teach them, know, and that's part of leadership.
Right.
We got to teach the youth. We got to give back,
Yes. I tell you, I've said it to you before. 50. My goal is to have 100 episodes on here, and I'm going to get that. What's crazy too is I believe in manifestation and just affirmations. I really do believe that. I believe that there's something in the universe you can tap into, as well as praying to God. I never ask God for much, but I ask the universe for everything, and I said I was going to have 12 or 10 episodes before June 1st, and I did. And I said this June 1st. So I believe in that, saying it and writing it down, there's something very powerful to that.
Right.
And I think everyone should just try it, give it a shot. And then I'm reading the book by 50 Cent right now. My buddy Anthony Hernandez referred it to me, and he talks about vision boards. I've had a vision board for when everyone was making fun of me a long time ago. And it's something about seeing it every day.
Collage,
and just believing it.
Yeah.
And just get to where you get rid of those limiting beliefs, man. And that's something, growing up struggling, people have limiting beliefs. And, you always say you can be whatever you want to be. And you're like, bullshit. No, I can't. That's just a humongous ceiling, limited belief that you have that you really can. If you really, it might not happen as fast as you want. Don't even think about the end result. Just like Nike says, just do it.
Just do it.
See what's the worst that could happen.
That's one of my slogans. If you look on my Instagram page, if you can see it and you can believe it, then you can achieve it. You know what I mean? And
it's funny. We're like a bunch of Instagram freaking positive
Well, it's my
quotes.
slogan. When people buy and sell from me, I have a little folder, and on the back of the folder, it says it. If you can see it, believe it, you can achieve it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's all mindset. Mindset is it's everything. It is everything.
It really is.
It really, really is. And it doesn't even matter. There's been things that happen in my life to where someone's broken into my car or, broken into my house, and stole stuff. And then at that point, family members are just kind of like, oh my God, like, what are we going to do? And I'm like, hey, it's okay. Everything that's been taken, it's all replaceable.
Right.
We're okay. And I've always just been so calm whenever these things that happen that people are like, oh my God, this is so tragic. It's like, no, it's okay. You know what I mean? We're healthy.
Yeah.
It's all replaceable. I'm just real cool, calm, and collective whenever things happen in a sudden like that, That
is, what do you think, is acquired, or were you born with that?
I don't know. I'm a big analyzer.
Mm-hmm.
And I really believe in meditation.
Me too. Okay. I started meditating about a year and a half ago. It's something that I don't bring up unless someone else does, because I've brought it up and everyone's like, "Yeah, you're weird," and I don't really care. But
yeah,
I kind of don't really want to have conversations with you.
Yeah, I mean, hey, yeah, I know.
But if you're gonna knock the stuff I do that makes me happy and successful, then we're not gonna have much else to talk about.
Yeah, but I think if you want to define it out, there's a book I think about it. It's called Emotional Intelligence, and I think it's what it's all about, is just being intelligent based on your emotions. You know what I mean? And if you can conquer emotional intelligence, dude, like, you can conquer anything, because no matter what comes your way, like, I feel like you have the answer to adapt and be like, hey, you know what? It's not that bad. It's okay.
Absolutely. And if you really believe, if you're really believe in God, and God has a plan for us. Why are you upset on his plan? He planned this out. Obviously, you got to go get it. But, it's all part of the plan.
Right.
Everything happens for you. Then, hey, I'll accept this, and I'm going to fight through it. Thank you for that lesson.
Thank you. Yeah. God's trying to talk. I mean, when it's happened, like, God's trying to talk to me. He's telling me something, and I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to listen, and there's something. There's a message behind this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then you start playing the tapes back, and like, all right, there's something I need to change here, or something went wrong back here this is why this happened. You know what I mean? Right. That's the way I look at things, bro.
How can I learn?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're 100% right, man. And sometimes it takes a while to get to that, but listen to this show or listen to books that say stuff like that.
Right.
And just be having an open mind and stop having such a closed mind. And whoever is probably listening to this probably doesn't have a closed mind. They're probably open to listening to new podcasts or trying the local kid out. But, having a closed mind, you're not going to grow with that.
Right.
You got to be open minded and listen, but also have a filter, like I said. Don't be that guy over there on the right with that golf pro. Try them all out. Have a strong filter. Be yourself. Be authentic.
And surround yourself, with the right people. And it's not just your surroundings, right? And Freddie talked to me about this one time. He's like, hey, sometimes you probably need to cut off family. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
Like family.
Sometimes it's right in the home with you.
And more importantly now that most people don't even talk about is your cell phone. How many apps do you follow on your cell phone? On Instagram or Facebook, and it's just like negative after negative after negative. And so when people say, hey, I need a clean house, I'm just going to surround myself with positive people, I think you need to start with your phone now, because I think nowadays everybody's on their phone more than they are probably out there.
Oh, man.
And you got a clean house there first.
Yes.
Get rid of like whatever is taking time away, distracting you. That's negative.
Right.
All that. It starts there.
I say feeding your eyeballs and ears with positivity.
Yeah.
Because I believe that whatever you feed your eyeballs and ears with lives in your unconscious mind when you're just doing your normal thing or you're in an argument or you're not emotionally intelligent. Some of that bad stuff will come out of your mouth unconsciously, or you'll make an unconscious dumb decision. So it's all training.
It is. And hey, music too, bro. Music too.
Yes.
Music I'm a true believer that music sets your moods. Right, it really, really does. Hey,
even though you're listening to slightly stupid.
Hey, love reggae. You know me, my genre goes all over, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Country, huge country fan. Rap, hip hop. Reggaeton, Spanish. I mean, all of it, dude. But sometimes, hey, if you're sitting there listening to rap or any kind of music that has a negative derogatory, bro, like your mindset is spinning based on what they're saying. And it's creating, you know what I mean?
Or if you hang around haters all day, or people that just really just don't support you, then they're talking down. Even though you don't believe it, once you leave, you let that in, and it'll eat you up, or live in your unconscious mind, man.
And not to say I don't listen to rap music, man, because when I'm playing golf with Freddie, man, we're always playing Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. I
still love Cops, even though I like Ice Cube. No, stuff's important, man. It really is, and that's what I'm instilling to my children. And speaking of children, you have a daughter, right? How old is she now?
She's 12. She's 12, man. Going on probably like 16, 17, man.
Tell us about her.
Oh, man. Jada Lynn. It's my baby. She's my only baby that I have, man. And she's my drive.
Besides your driver and your golf bag, what else? You have another baby. Yeah. No, does she play any golf too?
You know what? When she was about 5 or 6, we started getting her out there and swinging the club and putting. I used to work with her for like 2-3 years. And, she's a little bit more she's timid. She doesn't really like the big crowds.
Well, that means she'll be good at golf because you don't need a big crowd to practice. You practice be by yourself and grind.
I signed her up with a junior golf lesson, and it was a junior golf academy there at River Lakes. And she was there for about a year or two. But she was just like so timid with all the kids, you know what I mean? And she didn't she just didn't want to be around like a lot of the kids. She wanted to do it on her own, So we did that, and after a while, she just steered away from it. She didn't want to do it anymore. And me and her mom has been like talking to her. I'm like, hey, sure, let's try it, because her mom loves golf, you know what I mean? And her grandpa, myself, my family. I mean, we all love the game of golf, man. Shoot.
You like to be stressed out there in the short grass. Huh?
I think, if you love golf, man, you got to be a strong-minded person.
You do. It's a game of life. It teaches you honesty, integrity, hard work. All my 5 pillars: mental, emotional, physical, spiritual.
Yeah.
God, why are you doing this to me? And then financial. I don't want to lose my money to anybody.
I know. I invited you multiple times when we play. You know what I mean? Right. We like playing for money. It's like, dude, you can't play golf and not play for money. There's got to be skin in the game. Yeah.
Exactly. I remember this guy, MJ Morin. His dad, Mike Morin, super cool guy.
BCC.
Yes. Yeah. So his dad, I was 18, 19, 20 out at Kern River Golf Course. And then MJ came out there. He was like 10 years old and 9, 10. And I was telling his dad, like, hey, we got to play for something, man. He said, well, I don't want to play for money. I was like, well, let's play for a soda. Let's play for a cheeseburger. That's how I got good. I had 80-year-olds beating me when I first came out here, and I did not like it. I'm very competitive. So I started practicing on the right things, just taking the right information from my 5 guys. And then Jim Foss, Alan Sorensen, Chad Sorensen, a couple other people, Dave Bolar as well. But
the swing doctor.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was glued to the TV. But anyways, yeah, you have to put some pressure every time you play. Yeah. And every time you practice with purpose as well. And I've implemented that stuff into my life as well. I don't gamble, but that much, less like once a year. But you have to put something on, make it worth more than what it is. And that's how you improve.
Definitely. And that's in anything. You know what I mean? Definitely. But man, Mikey, you're a hell of a golfer too, man. You know what I mean? I talk about your story all the time. You know that? I just want you to know this. And I never told you this before. But I talk to a lot of people and I says, man, if you know how to play golf and you're really good at golf, the window's open for you, man. The window is open for you to do whatever you want. And I have a lot of friends that I go play golf with in Santa Cruz or down south. And I've been traveling up and down California, playing everywhere, different places. And I always tell these guys, man, you come to Bakersfield, bro, you know how to play golf. There's some good sticks out there, right?
Yeah, heck yeah.
It's like, dude, you can get a job making really good money just by having a really good golf game. And so most people don't understand that, right?
Yeah.
And when I tell them this, and so let me tell you a story about this guy, Mike Yates, that I know, all right? And they go back to when you worked at the pro shop, man, know, and dude, first guy ever that I ever met that can hit the ball 350 plus, left-handed or right-handed, in the monitor, bro. Like you showed me.
I could do it on the course too,
with my left-handed club, and I'm hitting it, and these Mike's just checking out my swing. He's like, oh yeah. Let me see that club real quick.
Yeah, my club's not working. Okay, let me check it out.
I'm hitting like 260, right, on the monitor. And Mike just goes up there left-handed, man, grabbed it and just hit that thing like 350 plus in that monitor. I was like, and he's right-handed, right? He's right-handed.
Well,
how can I say that?
I had a left-handed golf coach, Larry Cook. He was on the first episode here, and we practice every day. We play every day. I just lived, breathed shit golf every day for 7 years. I mean, I can't say I was the hardest worker because there was a couple people right there along me, but I was definitely top 3 or 4 hardest working golfers that I could ever live because there's no way to work any harder than I did. But I loved it so much. And Larry Cook, we get bored of practicing, so we grab his clubs. Me and Justin Pitts start hitting left-handed, then have competitions left-handed, hitting targets, see how far we can hit it. And it came to where we just play 9 holes, 9-handed, and compete against each other.
Hey, Pitts has a record. Does he have a record?
So Justin Pitts, I've been trying to get him on. He's very busy working and stuff. But yeah, he shot 57 at Kern River. Yes. It's still something that just is unbelievable. And not even just that, he did it with a bogey. And then he has another feat that will never be accomplished. He finished 2-2-2-2 at Kern River. So par 4, par 3, par 5. 2-2-2-2. That's just as freaking cool as the 6 or the 57.
Wow.
But yeah, me and him practiced. We played for Bakersfield College together. It was just so cool, man. Love golf, and yeah. Golf is something that it'll build your network as long as you don't cheat, as long as you're honest, you practice the right morals, and don't throw your clubs, guys. That's the worst thing. Come on, I just can't stand it when people throw their clubs. Yeah. That's one thing I probably threw my clubs at the beginning. I just didn't know any better, but I saw someone else throw their club and looked how dumb they looked and how embarrassing it is, and it just really disgraced the game. and your family.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny to talk about.
And I play golf too. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not nowhere near, you or anything like that. But I think what drives you more to golf is just the whole, just the mental part of it. That's why I love it. That's why I absolutely love it. And, and I bet and I'll lose money. And the next, what helps me improve my game is like, I'll go to the range 3 days that next week and I'm hitting balls Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I'm just working and working. I'm just like, all right, I can't wait for this next opportunity to play.
Right.
Because I'm going to get my money back. You know what I mean? I'm just so mentally driven.
Yeah.
And
you're playing towards something every time you play. So you're not uncomfortable when all of a sudden you have to bet.
Yeah.
Bet every time you play, even if it's for a soda.
Yeah.
Or
That's
beer.
got to be more than a soda, man. At least a beer.
If you're playing against a 10-year-old, now we do beers. Yeah. I know, man. But. So, I listened to Grant Cardone, man, is one of the guys I listened to. And then there's something about him, like, he kind of broke my heart. I've listened to all his books. I have like over 100 books in my library on Audible. And I drive a lot, so that's all I do is listen to books. And he was one guy that really kind of changed my life. He's a realtor, but he taught me how to get into real estate, and I want to one day. So, how would you try to get someone to explain the importance of real estate and being financially successful?
You know what? One thing about real estate, it's like baseball. I tell everybody, right? There's a whole bunch of different ways to score. There's a lot of different ways to score. So you can go up there and walk. You can bunt, hit a single, hit a double, triple, or home run, right? And so there is not just one way to be successful in real estate. There's many different ways, and you just got to figure out your element in it. There's a lot of investors that buy and flip. That's what they love to do. There's a lot of people that are just really good at helping people buy and sell, and they just love, the whole building the experience with the clients, the relationship building, and that's it, in that nature. You talk about the plateau of real estate, commercial, and so you can get in there and work with basically business owners, help them, buy property, flip property. What else? Rentals.
Right, yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like buying, he says don't buy
multi-unit. He's huge on multi-unit.
Multi-unit,
He's huge on
so
multi-unit.
That's what I was trying to get at,
But you asked me, how do I get into real estate? What would I advise you? There's a lot of different ways to score.
Of course.
So whatever suits your needs. Now, Grant Cardone is all multi-unit. And I agree with him. Like, that is probably one of my exit strategies. It is my exit strategy.
That was another next question I was getting to. Like, what is your extra strategy?
It is.
Is having multiple streams of income, right?
Exactly. Well, for me, it's more of like, look, I got to ask myself, all right, Benny, do you want to be that coach to build a team and be on them and coach them all the time? Probably not. And one thing that I love to do and enjoy is basically I want to live and have passive income, not having to work. Right.
That's the goal.
I love going on vacation. And if you follow me on Instagram, I love to travel. Right.
I do. Yeah.
And I wish I could travel more.
Of course. Yeah.
And some days if I'm there for 4 or 5 days and say, you know what, I want to stay an extra 5. I hate that I have to come home and go to work, bro.
Yeah.
And so it's like, how do I set up the lifestyle that I want? For me, I want sleeping money. I want to collect rent. And the one thing that I really love about multi-unit, Grant Cardone's all about, is that it's one of the safest investments you can make, because let's just say you have a 4-unit apartment complex and your payment is X amount of dollars. Now, typically, if you're in it pretty good, 2 of the units will pay for your mortgage and the other 2 is your cash flow, right?
Right.
The chances of everybody moving out at the same time and not having any income is very, very small. Right. So I really you're going to have some churn. 1 unit might go empty, but you're still cash flowing. Maybe 2 units go empty. You're still making your mortgage payment. Right. From some of the rents. When it gets full, of course, you're cash flowing. Now, the difference between people buying rentals, like a single family house, if you don't own it outright, well, you got that monthly mortgage payment when they move out.
Right. And anything that goes bad with the house, the AC, whatever that is.
Exactly. And we can go deeper into that whenever you get into a house or multi-unit. There's going to be a lot of recurring costs. If you have carpet in there, those are recurring costs that pretty much every tenant that moves out, you're going to have to replace.
You might have to go to more furniture.
So little things, I know Jarrett Martin. I think you interviewed Jarrett Martin.
Yeah, he was episode 9. That was my baseball number. Yeah.
My boy, man. He's my next door neighbor.
Yeah, oh, that's right. Yeah.
We share fences, man.
So I'm repping his business right now, J&M Precision, man. If you want a sick golf cart, go out there. Go see him. He's on Fruitville Avenue.
The best
Super
deals.
Awesome dude. Deliver to your house. Custom golf course. They have speakers in them. Big screen, whatever you want, man.
Good dude, man. Good guy. He's well known, and he's somebody you want to do business with because he knows so many people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, not just for golf carts, talk to Jarrett, just get a relationship with Jarrett because whatever other things you're looking to buy or want to do, he knows somebody in that industry. He knows everybody.
Right before he came in here, he just delivered one to Derek Carr's house.
So. Yeah. Oh, the red one.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see any pictures or anything, but he delivered to his house right before he came here, and I was like, yeah, see, he's got the hookups for sure. He's just a great dude.
He is. I love Jarrett and Allie, his wife, and the kids.
Yes, there you go. So I got to ask you because this is it's a realty question. We talk about motivation all the time, but someone that has a lot of equity in their house and they're thinking about selling, what's your advice for that?
It just depends. Okay, so is it their owner-occupied home? Do they live there? Is it considered like?
Let's just say for my situation, I have like 200,000 plus the 250. My house can go for what I owe. Yeah, equity, and then, but we have an RV. We're thinking about living in an RV, but I was like, how can you live in a family with a dog, 2 kids and an RV? But maybe we could tough it out till a market crash. People think about this stuff, and is there going to be a market crash? And how long will it be? It'll be a year, 2 years, 3 years. That's too long in an RV. So. And then just selling a house, and what do we do with that money? And then, it has to go into a house that's worth more as well. How would you break that down for someone that's in that situation like I'm in?
It's it for everybody, but for speaking for just you, it's like you and the wife got to figure out like, hey, it's going to be a sacrifice. So would I capitalize and take that money right now? I probably would, to be honest with you, Mike.
Damn you.
dude, I read up on Wall Street every day, the market watch, Barron's, you know what I mean? We just hit inflation at 9.1, huge, highest in 41 years. They've been raising the rates 0.75 basis points the last 2 times within the last 4 months, I think it has been. And it's not even affecting inflation, right?
Right.
And inflation is still going higher and higher and higher. So now they're talking about here in the next couple of weeks, they're going to raise it. There's a good chance 100 basis points was 1% more. And they're trying to get inflation down. So what does that mean? That means, bro, it's going to be a long journey for them to get inflation down by raising rates. So I really feel, and what I've been reading, and this is just my opinion,
right?
We're probably going to be looking at 9-10% interest, right?
Wow.
Yes, which I'm actually excited about.
Yeah.
Because again, going back to my history and what I've been through, and I said it's never going to happen to me again. I want to save. I would rather buy a house at 9 or 10%, knowing that values are way at the lowest.
Because you can always refinance?
Because within 2 or 3 years, when the market comes back up, now your rates start dropping, and then you can refinance later.
Yeah.
You see? And so,
I'm a good listener.
Yeah. And so, if you have X amount of equity right now, which a lot of people think they have this much, and you never know because the rates are jumping like quick right now.
I know, it's scary.
You take what you get, sacrifice a little bit, and it's tough. Hey, we're all used to a certain type of standard of life and the way we're living. But sometimes in order for you to jump that leap and get to the next step, you got to sacrifice a little bit what you got to get to that next step.
That's life for sure, right?
So I don't know if that answered your question or not.
No, it does. It also, you got to ask your question, like in my position, is this your dream home or not? And if it's not, then that's probably a good indicator. You should probably do something, capitalize, because you don't want to look back and like beat yourself up over that. Hey, the opportunity to make, that much money.
But that old saying too, a happy wife is a happy life, and you better talk to mama about her.
Yeah, she says she's down. Honestly, we have a boat over in Oxnard. When COVID hit, sports stopped. I coached my kids' baseball teams at the time, and still do. But we started living on an ocean boat, man. Freaking, and that's something that we created we got a part of the community over there, and everyone's just so peaceful and nice. And a lot of older people, a lot of younger people can't really do that. It's really not that bad. It's not that expensive as people think, but we just love that lifestyle over there. In
love it over
Oxnard.
there. Port Hueneme.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, and we talked. We were right on the street from each other one time on one of your vacations. But I always ask everybody on this show, man. What do you love about Bakersfield?
Oh man, so I was born and raised in Ventura County, right? A little city called Santa Paula. That's
right down the street.
That's right there, man. Yeah. I still got family in Ventura, Oxnard area. But when I came to Bakersfield, it's just a little big city.
Yeah.
It's to me, it's just the people are just super nice. Everybody's just real friendly. I feel like, where I hang out and people that I interact with. I love it that it's not Los Angeles. Okay. Yeah, I can't stand the traffic, bro.
Of course, me neither.
And and I've gone to San Diego quite a bit of times, and sometimes you got to park in the bottom of these tunnels, dude, and catch the elevator, and you got to walk like 3 blocks to go where you wanted to go. I like pulling up Bakersfield and say, hey, I'm going into this building, I'm parking like right in front of it. You know what I mean? I just like the space. I like how it's diversified a little bit. Northwest, there's really no riffraff. East side is more of like in certain parts of it.
Low, yeah.
It's just a little bit, you know what I mean? It's kind of like secluded.
Right.
I really think that Bakersfield is a gold mine, especially in real estate in the next 10 years. We have a lot of flat land, and we're the most affordable place to live in California. Right. And so me being in this industry for as long as I have, I've never seen so many people moving down here from Northern California, the Bay, and Southern California. And especially since COVID hit, it's absolutely changed the whole market. And, some of these companies started going mobile, and now these companies were saying, well, you can only report to the office once a month. And, you can work mobily from home. And then I felt like a lot of these people out of town were like, you mean I can be a homeowner in Bakersfield?
Right.
And drive one day, 3.5 hours to the Bay and report to a meeting and come back? Like,
yes,
it's a land of opportunity to me. Bakersfield is the land of opportunity. If I was still living in Ventura, if I was still, in Oxnard or Santa Barbara, I don't know, but the opportunity, Bakersfield's giving me the opportunity to buy property, to buy multi-units and create my own, wave of income that I don't think a lot of people that live in these more expensive metropolitan areas have the opportunity to.
Yes.
And Bakersfield is where it's at. This is the place to be.
I love that answer, man. That was a really good answer. Might be the best one I've heard, man. It is somewhat. I've been in the oil, ag industry, water, kind of everything, right? And golf. It's kind of a good old boy. People can smell out fake people and true, authentic, good human beings. And if you just do business the right way, I think you'll reap the benefits of it.
Definitely.
And that's what you're doing, brother. And I appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Hey, thank you, Mike. It was a pleasure.
Dude,
thanks again.
Yeah.
DT, my boy.
So, hold on. Where can we find you?
MyRealtorBenny.com. I'm on Instagram, MyRealtor Benny. I'm on Facebook, MyRealtor Benny. 661-369-0909 is my number. If you guys ever have any questions, anything, please don't hesitate to give me a call, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks a bunch.
My
Appreciate
guy. Yeah. Oh, yeah.